My name's Wyatt, and today I'm going to be walking you through the different aspects and components of your FICO, or other known as credit score. So your FICO score can be anywhere between 300 and 850. 850 being the most desirable amount and the highest you can get, and then 300 being kind of the lower tier and kind of really hard to bounce back from. So to start, one of the biggest aspect of your credit score is going to be your payment history. Your payment history makes up almost 35% of your credit score, which is a pretty hefty amount and way more than the other four components. So 35% goes to payment history. Now your payment history, this is basically just if you've paid on time in the past, in full, just kind of your past history pertaining to credit. And payment history, it's recommended to pay in full to keep your utilization down, which we'll get to in a second, but you can make the minimum payment, but it's not recommended because you're more likely to fall behind on payments or stack up, and it makes it harder to pay in the future, which is why you should avoid the minimum payment. And then pay on time. That is the biggest thing. If you pay on time, you will not have a bad credit score. The second biggest attribution to your credit score is the amount of credit, or other known as credit utilization. And that makes up 30% of your credit score. And for the amount of credit, it's basically just that the amount of credit that's readily available to you. So say you have a credit limit of $5,000. If you're using like $4,000, $4,500 of that credit limit, it's not going to look very good to vendors because, for one, it shows that you spend a lot and you're using all the credit that's readily available to you. So if you're using a lot of your credit, it's going to bring your score down. Another one of the biggest aspects of your credit score is your types of credit. Types of credit is only 10% of your credit score, which isn't a lot, but it is still some. And types of credit basically pertain to the different types of credits that you're using. So I have some types right here. It could be anywhere from like installment credits, revolving credits, open credits, like business reward cards, home equity credit, basically any other type of personal lines of credit. These all kind of tie into and let lenders know what you're using credits for, or what you're using credit for. Another aspect of credit cards is new credit. This takes up about 10% of your credit score, just like types of credit. All this really means is basically just like it's just recently opened credit lines of credit and inquiries from lenders, basically just showing you, hey, they're opening a new line of credit. And if you open a lot of new lines of credit and within a short period of time, it doesn't look very well to lenders. So if you do apply for a credit card, make sure you wait a certain amount in between, because they're going to apply credit checks to you, and so you just want to span that time out between when you're applying for new credit. And kind of the last but not least is the length of credit history. I didn't get this chart really right proportion-wise, but this will get around 15% of your credit score. So length of credit, this is basically just how long you've been using credit. And luckily for me, my parents put me under a Guardian account for a credit card when I was, I think, 16 or 17. So I already have like 4 or 5 years of credit under my account, and even that is still considered like okay in regards to credit history. Anything under 2 years isn't considered very good. It's considered not bad, but not very great. And then I think between like 3 and 5, 6 years is kind of that middle range. And then anything past 6 years is considered to be pretty good, 7, 8. So your goal is to basically open a credit card and just keep it open. Like my first credit card, I will keep open until the day I die, because if you take that off, it's going to destroy your credit length. And yeah, so these are kind of all the different attributes and components that make up your credit score. As long as you're good on your payment history, your amount of credit, your length of credit, like you just keep all these in check, there should be no reason why you don't have a perfect credit score. And yeah, I hope you learned a little more about credit scores and how you can keep your credit score high. Thank you.